What's up guys, Protagonist here, and today we'll be doing a deck profile on the standard Gold Paladin Ezel deck from the upcoming set Miyaji Academy. Gold Paladin is an Ezel clan used by Korin in the anime. Best girl by the way. The deck focuses on throwing all your non-trigger units on the board, then proceeding to cry when your opponent checks a damage trigger. But jokes aside, the deck is able to swarm the board efficiently with abilities to recruit from the deck, and also our new finisher Raven Hair from Miyaji is absolutely beast. It is an anti-sentinel powerhouse with crit, and it's just beautiful. And with the upcoming set this week, there are even more ways to warp right into Ezel. This deck's extremely fast and gets my adrenaline running, so let's jump right into it. First up, 4 copies of the boss monster of the deck, Raven Hair Ezel from Miyaji Academy. This card is what Gold Paladins dream of. Basically, with the ability to gain crit and anti-sentinel, this card will be able to punish your opponent when they are low in hand size. And it also has some really neat abilities to counter the meta decks. For example, its first ability, Activate ability, if a Vanguard with Incandescent Line in its name, you may counterblast 1. If you do, write it from your hand. This is a great way to counter Zambaku's lock because the lock will make you rest and unable to stand during the right phase. So with this ability, you will be able to ride over, even though it's rest, and jump back right into action, and you can swing them a huge anti-sentinel crit. Awesome. So its main ability is its attacking ability, Auto Vanguard Circle. When this card attacks and you have an Incandescent Line in its soul, you may counterblast 1. If you do, this unit gains plus extra 15k attack power and 1 critical. Your opponent cannot call any sentinels from the hand. So as previously mentioned, you will be able to punish your opponent with low hand size, especially if you're rushing early in the game. So this card is awesome because its ability is only 1 counterblast, which means you'll be able to spam it every single turn as long as you have 1 simple counterblast. Awesome. Next up, we have 4 copies of Windmill Boy, aka Incandescent Line Ezel. This card is one of the most important engine of deck because it allows you to go to grade 3 while your opponent is still at grade 1, which is a huge advantage. His ability from the hand is, as long as you have a build means in the rearguard or vanguard and a Gareth at the side, you will be able to soul blast 1 Criff from the soul, Little Lion Criff, in order to superior write this card from the hand. So just right there, if you are going first, your opponent will be at grade 1 while you are at an awesome grade 3. However, you will lose 1 drive check, which is alright, because during next turn, you'll get back the twin drive and lay down the pressure on your opponent. So this is one of my absolutely favorite strategies in the game because it allows me to turbo into a grade 3 so fast, and I'm all about that speed. Now, our final grade 3 is 3 copies of Sagramore. He is one of my favorite units when I first started out Vanguard because of its awesome art. Vanguard Rearguard ability, when this card enters the field from the hand, Soul Blast 1, if you do draw 1 card, then you must call 1 card from the hand onto a Rearguard Circle. Because firstly, it's a 12k beat stick. I usually throw him onto XL Circle and you'll be able to hit magic numbers against non-force clans. And also he gives you more hand size, so you'll be able to throw down more units onto the field, giving you the extra rush. So 3 copies. Now let us go on to the grade 2s. Some new cards from Miyaji, 4 copies of Wonder Ezel. This card is absolutely amazing. Activate ability, Soul Blast 1 card and retire 1 Hoel on the field and send it to the drop zone. If you do, superior write 1 Ezel from the deck, so it doesn't even need to be in the hand like the previous form. So right now we have so many more ways to superior write into Ezel, giving you that advantage gap. So you write to Ezel, however you lose 1 drive check, but as previously mentioned, it doesn't matter because during the next turn you gain that drive check back. It gives you the upper hand against opponents, especially since you'll be able to throw down all those grade 3 against your opponents. This is an awesome strategy and I really like it. His second ability is Rearguard ability. When this card enters the field, you can superior call 1 card from your hand onto your Rearguard Circle, which is nice because when your Ezel attacks, you can superior call it, and its ability you can superior call more cards. So what I do sometimes, if I already attack with my Rearguard, I'll use Ezel ability, attack with the Vanguard skill, I can call him, then call another Rearguard. So yeah, it gives you extra attacks you can just call over in case you just really want to rush for game. So it's a pretty nice card to have and it gives you the extra chain combo. Now 4 copies of the classic build mains, used to be vanilla but right now he's a really good recruiter. A Vanguard Rearguard ability, when this card enters the field, you can discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, superior call 1 Gareth onto your Rearguard Circle. So with that, Gareth will also be able to activate its skill. Counterblast 1 plus 10k. This guy is really good because it converts any of your user's triggers or grade 3s onto precious Gareth, because Gareth can become an 8k beater by itself, which means you'll be able to deal with those force clans because they're 13k base. Sometimes I actually just call build mains and activate his skill, become an 18k base, so that he'll be able to solo some other Rearguards. So yeah, he's just a really good card. He helps you push for game and just converts any user's cards into rush cards that you really need. His second ability is Rearguard skill. When this card is caught onto the field by a card ability, For this turn, this card gains a 3k, which is good because it becomes 12k attack power, which means you'll be able to solo some non-force clans. Awesome. Throw it onto your Ezel circle so you can lay down some huge beatdowns. For the last grade 2, we play 3 copies of Vivian. Her ability allows you to superior call start from the top 3 cards of the deck, which is awesome. So when this card enters the field from your hand, Vanguard Regal ability, you can counter blast 1 and soul blast 1. If you do, check the top 3 cards of the deck, superior call one of them to your Vanguard circle, and for this turn, this unit gains plus 3k attack power, which is nice because she becomes a 12k tempo beat stick. You'll be able to solo opponent's Vanguard. So one thing to know about this deck is usually you'll be attacking solo because you really want to throw out whatever you got and do multiple attacks. So getting boosters is not really a must for this deck. And most importantly is you want to call more regards to beat down your opponent. So that's what Vivian is for. She's able to solo and she'll call down more beat sticks for you to solo opponent as well. And the artist did a great job on her new art. Check it out. Now for the great ones, we play 4 copies of Hoel. He's part of the key combos for you to go into Ezel from the deck. But Hoel also has a very nice ability. So Hoel Regal ability, at the end of the battle that this card boosts and you control an Ezel Vanguard, you may counter blast 1 and push this guy in the soul to draw 1 card, then you must superior call 1 card from your hand to the Vanguard circle. So Hoel is not only the key combo into your superior riding skills, he is very important because he allows you to soul charge 1, which is a very important resource because we do soul blast quite a lot in this deck. He also allows you to superior call units, which means at the end of the battle, let's say you already have Regards that's rested, you can call another Regard with his skill so they can deal extra damage to your opponents, which is something very nice to do. Otherwise, you can just call normal boosters to put behind to replace itself. Nonetheless, he is an awesome card and he must be played at 4. The next great one in play is 4 copy of Dindrain. She is one of my favorite Gold Paladin unit back in the days, and I really love her art for the V series. I mean, look at her. Check out those sick knee pads, man. I mean, I've never realized that those were a thing on Dindrain, so I mean, what are those, man? Alright, so jokes aside, this card's awesome because when this card enters the field by a card ability, you may Soul Blast 1. If you do, you may either draw a card, or counter charge 1, then gain 3k power. Please note that if you draw a card, you are unable to gain a 3k power, so using this card does take a little bit of skill. But nonetheless, her art is awesome and she gives you a lot of resource management, so I really love her. 4 copies. The last great one in play is 3 copies of Gareth. You usually want him stuck in your deck because you want to call him out with build mains. But nonetheless, he's an awesome unit because firstly, he does put in work for rushing. His ability is when this card enters the field by a card ability, you may counter blast 1. If you do, it becomes an 18k beat stick, which is awesome because he's able to fight against force. Thankfully, he can gain the ability not only through Billman skill, he can also gain it through Ezel skill. For example, when Ezel attacks, you can use his ability to superior call unit. You can call this out, counter blast 1 and it becomes an 18k beat stick. You can solo those Dragoning Overlords or Alfred, which is always very nice. So 3 copies because I only use them as tech boosters and tech attackers. And yeah, I just want to max out on my superior calling stuff because I really love to go into Ezel every single game. Now let's go on to our trigger lineup. We play 4 copies of Crit Trigger, 4 copies of Front Trigger. Front is exclusive to the Ezel clan, so only Ezel gets this really unique trigger. What Front Trigger does is he powers up all units in the front row. There are reasons why I'm sticking to Front Triggers. I used to go 8 crits, but after playing a while, I realized that Front is so damn good. Remember the time I tell you that you cry when your opponent checks a damage trigger? But with Front, all your front row gains with 10k power, it doesn't really matter, you still be able to plow through. Even though you don't get a crit, you will still be able to lay up some pressure to your opponents. So in a way, Front Triggers are kind of like my favorites right now. Also, it can be used defensively because if you check it as a damage trigger, all your units on the front row gain plus 10k attack power, which means you'll be able to protect your regards properly. And especially since you're playing Ezel clan, your attackers are very important. So sometimes Front Triggers really do all the work for you. Do give them a try and let me know what you think. 4 copies of Perfect Guard draws. I really like how draws are Perfect Guards right now because it really saves the Grade 1 space. And yeah, Halo Shield Mark is back and he's one of my favorite Perfect Guards. 4 copies of Heal Triggers because if you're not healing, you're doing it wrong. And finally, we have the baby cup crypt. Basically, if you write on top, you can draw one card. So yeah, it's just a very extremely vanilla grade 0 that gives you a draw 1. Pretty nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed my deck performance on the standard Gold Paladin Ezel deck from Miyaji Academy. If you guys would like to see more awesome Vanguard deck profiles, be sure to smash the like button. And if you guys want to see my secret deck, which is the Alfred deck, be sure to leave a like as well. And comment down below whether you want to see one because yeah, it's on hold currently. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.